Welcome to the Madison Miller podcast. Today is Thursday, February 6, 2020. I'm going to try to be quick today. College basketball, NBA, NHL. Discussed the Masked Singer episode from last night. The new Lego show. A 3-way deal that is close to being done in the NBA. And my best bet of the day. Okay, we're going to start with college basketball. Go through last night's results and look ahead to tonight's games. So, without further ado, here we go. Indiana State over Loyola Chicago 68-39. Number 19 Butler over number 10 Villanova 79-76 on a buzzer beater 3 by Lamar Baldwin. Notre Dame over Pitt 80-72. Number 13 West Virginia over Iowa State 76-61. Purdue kills number 17 Iowa 104-68. That was a terrible pick by my end. Providence over number 21 Creighton 73-56. Duquesne over St. Louis 82-68. Albany over Binghamton 62-49. UMBC over Hartford 70-59. Vermont over Maine 77-52. Stony Brook over UMass Lowell 77-70. Virginia over Clemson 51-44. Florida over Georgia 81-75. Ole Miss over South Carolina 84-70. American over Navy 62-54. Colgate over Lehigh 81-51. Southern Illinois over Evansville 64-60 in overtime. Purdue Fort Wayne over Western Illinois 75-69. East Tennessee State over Chattanooga 80-64. UNT Greensboro over the Citadel 88-68. Furman over Mercer 79-57. FIU over FAU 69-50. Wofford over VMI 79-73. BU over Army 80-66. St. Bonaventure over George Washington 72-47. Loyola Maryland over Holy Cross 74-60. Northwestern State over Abilene Christian 73-69. Stephen F. Faust over Nichols 70-64. Western Carolina over Sanford 78-70. Incarnate Word over Sam Houston State 72-71 in overtime. Missouri State over Illinois State 80-60. Lamar over Central Arkansas 74-67. Houston Baptist over Southeast Louisiana 79-76. A&M Corpus Christi over McNeese 69-62. Oklahoma State over TCU 72-57. Memphis over Temple 79-65. Northern Iowa over Valparaiso 63-51. North Dakota State over Omaha 86-78. Number 12 Seton Hall over Georgetown 78-71. NC State over Miami 83-72. Number 5 Louisville over Wake 86-76. Vandy upsets number 18 LSU 99-90. Drake over Bradley 73-60. Minnesota over Wisconsin 70-52. Utah State over UNLV 69-54. Cal Poly over Long Beach State 92-75. Cal State Fullerton over UC Riverside 61-48. Tonight's games. Actually, we have a matinee game between Green Bay and IUPUI. 6 o'clock on ESPN+. USC Upstate and UNC Asheville. 7 o'clock, you have Charleston Southern at Longwood. Gardner-Webb at Presbyterian. Hampton at High Point. William & Mary at Charleston. James Madison at Drexel. CBS Sports Network Towson at Delaware. Delaware State by 2.5. I have Delaware by 2.5 as well. So it's dead on. If the line moves, I think I'll go probably towards Delaware. I think that Delaware will probably win the game, so I'm going to go with Delaware here. Although I think my projection is right. Alana at UNC Wilmington. Detroit Mercy at Wright State. UConn at Tulsa on ESPN2. Tulsa is a 2.5-point favorite. I have them favored by 11. Tulsa's going to absolutely dominate here, I think. I think UConn is so overrated and overvalued. They live on the past. Those days are over. Tulsa's on fire. They're going to win this game. 7 o'clock on ESPN, Cincinnati, Wichita State. Wichita State's 5.5-point favorite. I'm laying it with Wichita State. I think that it should be 7. So, 1.5 of value here. So, give me Wichita State. Stetson at Florida, Gulf Coast at Florida, NJIT. Lipscomb at North Alabama. Liberty at Jacksonville. Texas State, Coastal Carolina. Southern Miss Marshall. UTSA, Old Dominion. UTEP, Charlotte. St. Francis, Brooklyn, Bryant. Mount St. Mary's in Long Island. Robert Wagner. St. Francis, Pennsylvania at Sacred Heart. Texas Arlington, UCF, or Appalachian State, and then UCF East Carolina. UCF, 3.5. I have it by East Carolina by 0.5, so give me the Pirates for the home upset here. Campbell at Winthrop on ESPNU. Winthrop's a 15-point favorite. I have Winthrop as a 9.5-point favorite, so give me Campbell in the points. Oakland and Northern Kentucky, Merrimack at Fairleigh Dickinson. 7:30 North Texas and Middle Tennessee. Murray State at Belmont. 8 o'clock Pac-12 Network, Cal at number 24 Colorado. Colorado is a 17-point favorite. Give me Cal in the points. I think it should be Colorado laying 8.5. So that's a lot of points here. So give me Cal here plus the 17. Georgia State at Louisiana. Rice at UAB, Milwaukee at UIC, UT Rio Grande and UMKC, Georgia Southern, UL Monroe, Oral Roberts, North Dakota, New Mexico State, Chicago State, Jacksonville State, Southeast Missouri State at 8:15, 8:30 Morehead State at SIU Edwardsville, Eastern Kentucky at Eastern Illinois, Austin at Tennessee State, Tennessee Tech at UT Martin, 9 o'clock ESPN2, USC at number 23 Arizona. Arizona's a 10-point favorite. Give me USC in the points. I think it should be Zona by 5. Tulane at number 25 Houston, 9 o'clock on ESPNU. Houston's favored by 16.5. I'm going to lay with Houston. I feel like I'm getting a half-point value. I have Houston by 17. Louisiana Tech at Western Kentucky on CBS Sports Network. Louisiana Tech's a 1-point favorite, and that's what I have it as well. I think the line will probably go towards Western Kentucky. So I think now will be the time to pick Western Kentucky. Idaho at Montana State. Northern Colorado at Southern Utah. Eastern Washington at Montana. Northern Arizona at Idaho State. Sacramento State at Weber State. 10 o'clock Pac-12 Network, Stanford at Utah. Utah's a 1.5-point favorite. Give me Stanford plus the points. They're playing really well. Utah's not. UC Davis at UC Irvine. Cal Baptist are hosting Cal State Bakersfield. BYU at Portland. BYU's favored by 16. Give me Portland in the points. I think it should be BYU by 5.5. Santa Clara at Pepperdine. Pepperdine's a 2-point favorite. Give me Santa Clara plus the points. I know Santa Clara is probably overvalued because of their good start. They're the New Mexico of the West Coast Conference. So, give me Santa Clara. I'm going to start to fade them in New Mexico if they continue to lose like this. Hawaii at UC Santa Barbara. CBS Sports Network, Loyola Marymount at number 2, Gonzaga. Gonzaga's favored by 25.5. I am going to take Marymount plus the points. I feel like I'm getting 4.5 points of value here with Marymount. Pacific at San Francisco. San Francisco's laying 8.5. I'm taking Pacific in the points. It's a 5-point difference from my numbers to theirs. St. Mary's at San Diego and ESPNU. St. Mary's is favored by 11. I'm taking San Diego in the points. I feel like I'm getting 4 points of value. And UCLA at Arizona State. 11 o'clock ESPN2. Arizona State's a 5.5-point favorite. I'm taking the road dog. I think I'm getting 2 points here of value. Now I'm going to do NBA. Going to go over last night's games and look ahead to all the games tonight. Pistons over the Suns, 116-108. Raptors over the Pacers, 119-108. Celtics over the Magic 116-100. Nets over the Warriors 129-88. Thunder over the Cavaliers 109-103. Hawks over the Timberwolves 127-120. Grizzlies over the Mavs 121-107. Porzingis got hurt in that game. Nuggets over the Jazz 98-95. Clippers over the Heat 128-111. Tonight's games, the Magic at the Knicks. I would make actually no, that's we'll save that for best bet possibly. Pelicans at the Bulls, 8 o'clock TNT, 76ers at the Bucks. Milwaukee is a 9-point favorite. I would make this Milwaukee by 15, so I feel like the Bucks have some value here, so I'm laying the 9. Spurs at the Blazers at 10 o'clock, 10:30. Rockets at the Lakers on TNT. Lakers by 6.5 is the number. On a neutral, I would have this 6.5, so really it should be 9.5. So give me the Lakers minus the 6.5 in what should be an interesting game to follow this season. NHL, I'm going to go over the games from last night and look ahead to what should be a very busy slate tonight. Maple Leafs lose at the Rangers 5-3. Bruins over the Blackhawks 2-1 in overtime. And tonight, big slate. 7 o'clock NBCSN is a terrible game, though. Red Wings at the Sabres. I think the Sabres are going to win that game by multiple goals. Ducks, Canadians, Penguins, Lightning. Golden Knights, Panthers. Kings, Islanders. Devils, Flyers. 7:30 Avs, Senators. 8 o'clock Jets, Blues. Canucks, Wild. 9 o'clock Preds, Flames. Coyotes host the Hurricanes. And at 9:30 on NBCSN, the Sharks with the Oilers. I'm going to take the Oilers at home. Connor McDavid's playing great. This team's looking for a playoff spot. So give me the Oilers at home tonight against the San Jose Sharks. Now I want to talk a little Masked Singer from last night. The contestant unmasked was the llama. Turned out to be Drew Casey. So that was a surprise to many. I initially thought this was Adam Carolla, but I got like an R&B vibe and made a new guess with Al Green, which was terrible. Probably my worst pick of the early season so far, and perhaps ever. Ken Jeong thought it was Joel McHale. The guest judge thought it was Johnny Knoxville. Robin Thicke thought it was Adam Carolla. Nicole Scherzinger thought it was Woody Harrelson. Jenny McCarthy thought it was Kelly Grammer. And like I said, it wound up being Drew Casey. They're all very, very, very surprised. And as was I. He obviously got an inspiration, in my opinion, from fellow game show host Wayne Brady, who won the competition last year as the Fox. So, I guess that would make some sense here with the llama. So, in terms of the other contestants still remaining, the turtle, the kangaroo, the white tiger, and Miss Monster. The kangaroo, I think, is a little tricky because I really think it could be a old school R&B singer from the 60s, 70s. And the turtle, I think, is very, very talented as well. There's some speculation that the turtle could be Zac Efron or somebody from a boy band. The the White Tiger, everybody and their brother thinks it's Rob Gronkowski. It just fits his personality. I'd be surprised if it's not him at this point. It was similar to Lil Wayne from Super Bowl night. But Lil Wayne, I just knew his voice. Like, that was kind of obvious. I'm surprised so many people didn't get that one. So, should be interesting next Wednesday. Those four are going to face off. The top, I think, 2 or 3 will move on. And then, obviously, the following week, they'll go to Group B. And we'll see a new 6 set of characters on the show. Before we go, I want to talk about the Lego show, Lego Masters, that premiered last night. They had to build a dream theme park. There are a couple different teams, 9 or 10 teams. There was nobody eliminated, luckily. The team that won the challenge was Aaron and Christian. Theirs came out pretty good. Amy and Crystal, Jermaine and Mel, Jesse and Kara, Mark and Boone, Richard and Flynn, Travis and Corey, and Tyler and Amy were all safe. And the 2 teams that were at risk of elimination were Manny and Nestor, and Sam and Jessica. So it should be interesting to see next week with this show and if they actually eliminate anybody. Now I want to discuss an NBA trade that is on the verge of happening. Andre Iguodala is finally getting out of Memphis, getting sent to the Miami Heat. Justice Winslow is going back to Memphis in the deal. Then Woj reported it's a 3-way deal that's going to happen as the Heat are going to acquire Danilo Gallinari from the Oklahoma City Thunder. So those are 2 real good pickups for Miami. They're really, really going for it here. And I'm interested to see what Oklahoma City gets back. Do they lighten the protections on the 2023 pick that Miami owned that Oklahoma City now has? Do the Grizzlies get anything more than just Justice Winslow? Do they get another pick? Does Miami just land those 2 players? So I'm interested to see what happens there. Trade deadlines today. Just going to go through the teams very quickly. We'll start in the Atlantic Division. Boston Celtics, I'm not sure if they'll do anything. They're in line to possibly acquire Clint Capella, but he went to Atlanta. Knicks will probably trade Marcus Morris. It's between the Clippers and the Lakers. Take the Heat off for them. Take the Rockets off for them. The Philadelphia 76ers acquired Alec Burke and Glenn Robinson from the Warriors last night to fortify their bench. So those, I think, are 2 quality pickups for them. The Brooklyn Nets, I don't think, will do anything. The Toronto Raptors have a lot of chips that they could throw on the table for themselves to really improve their chances at a 3-peat. The Cleveland Cavaliers, Tristan Thompson's available. Kevin Love, I feel like that they are dying to get rid of. Indiana, interested to see what they do. Miles Turner, is he on the table? The Chicago Bulls, there's rumblings about Zach LaVine. The Milwaukee Bucks, I think, are set. I don't think they'll do anything. Maybe with Eric Bledsoe, I don't know. In Detroit, Derrick Rose, is he going to get them back something? Andre Drummond's been rumored on the trade block as well. The Miami Heat already made their big moves for Iguodala and Gallinari. I don't think they'll do anything else. The Atlanta Hawks made their big move by acquiring Clint Capella and Nene and that big deal. But maybe John Collins could be on the move. Orlando, I don't think they're going to do anything. You never heard Orlando rumblings yet. But I think they're okay with what they have. Charlotte, maybe Marvin Williams goes. That's more of like a buyout guy than a trade guy. Washington, you heard for them as like a possible buyer because Bradley Beal was rumbling and gumbling. So maybe they do something. Lakers, Marcus Morris is a possibility. Derrick Rose, you heard them linked to. You heard them linked to Oklahoma City's Dennis Schroeder. Clippers, obviously they, I think, are the front runners for Marcus Morris if they put in Landry Shamet in the deal. I think that is a lot for Marcus Morris. I think Mo Harkless for Marcus Morris, well, and if they throw in something else to send to New York is a fair package. Sacramento, they traded away Dwayne Dedmon to the Hawks. So the Hawks have 3 big men. They're definitely trading away somebody. I don't think the Hawks are done yet. Now we say they moved that contract away to clear cap room so they can re-sign Bogdan Bogdanovic. The Phoenix Suns, you heard Kelly Oubre's name put on the market. I wonder if somebody is going to pay up to get him. Golden State made some sellers moves with some of their pieces, Willie Cauley-Stein, Glenn Robinson, and Alec Burks. All of them at some point of the season probably started for them. Now to the Northwest Division. Portland, I don't know if they'll do anything. There's some speculation about Whiteside, but he's had a good season, so I don't think they'll move him. Although Yusuf Nurkic is coming back. And plus, they made their move already with acquiring Trevor Ariza. And then they signed Carmelo Anthony, too. Utah made a move earlier in the year for Jordan Clarkson. I don't think they'll do anything else. Denver was involved in that 4-team deal. Then you also have Oklahoma City, who's on the verge of trading Danilo Gallinari. I think they should be a buyer. I think that they should be in play for Marcus Morris. I would trade one of those Clippers picks for Marcus Morris if I'm Oklahoma City, because I think he would really, really help them. You also have the Timberwolves, who have been hot after D'Angelo Russell. And I think the next big name that's going to possibly be traded is Karl Anthony Towns. Not necessarily today, but like maybe in the summer, because they've been bad his whole time there, except for the year that they had Jimmy Butler the whole season. So I really think there's some pressure on Minnesota to do something today. And I know they were involved in the 4-team deal, but they got a lot of picks and stuff in that deal, not necessarily a star player to pair with Karl Anthony Towns. That's why they're hot after Russell. The Spurs, they've been quiet. I don't think they'll do anything, although you're hearing rumors that they're taking calls on a lot of people. Rockets were involved in that 4-team deal. They landed Robert Covington. I think they're fine. Although, heard a rumor yesterday that they are closing in on a deal for an Eastern Conference big man. I think it could be Tristan Thompson. The Mavs, I thought they were in play for Andre Iguodala. I think that they have to do something because that's really a 2-man team in reality, and I don't think people are realizing that. So I think they're under some pressure to make a move for an above-average bench player or a starter. Maybe that's Drew Holiday from New Orleans, who is available. I think that the Pelicans want a lot for him, but at the same time, I don't think they want to move him because they want to see how it works out with Zion. And I think they're under pressure to make the playoffs now that Zion's back from his injury. Memphis made the Iguodala move. I wonder if they'll make any moves to get themselves better, to try to hold on to the 8 seed. So I think that Memphis is interesting, and I don't think that they're really done yet for the deadline. I know they had the move at Iguodala. He just thinks that the Grizzlies suck, and he wants to be on a real championship contender. So I think the Grizzlies have a lot to prove here down the stretch with this Iguodala thing. And then one team left that I haven't talked about. I think I went through all 30 teams. So, that's it for trade deadline talk. Best bets of the day brought to you by FanDuel. 1-1 last night. One with the Nuggets getting all those points at Utah. They won the game outright. And then I lost badly with Iowa getting points at Purdue. I was going to take Memphis with the points against whomever they were playing, Temple. But that's obviously a big regret of mine. That was my original best bet, and I realized how far off I was. So without further ado, here we go. My best bet for the college basketball tonight, I'm going to go with, I don't feel good about this, but I'm going to take Portland plus the 16 against BYU for my college basketball best bet. And then for the NBA, I am going to take I want to take the Bucks, quite frankly, who I have projected as a 15-point favorite rather than an 8.5. Orlando's minus 3.5 at the Knicks. I would make that around 4.5. So I would actually lay the points with Orlando again at New York. Pelicans at the Bulls. I would make that Pelicans by a half because I feel that they're still overvalued in the market. Portland, San Antonio. I would make that Blazers by 3.5. That's what it is. And then the other TNT game, Rockets at the Lakers. I make this Lakers by 9.5. So I'm going to lay the 8.5 with Milwaukee against Philadelphia for my best NBA pick of the night. So that's it for today. Might do a reaction to the trade deadline podcast tonight. If not that, then I'll definitely react to it tomorrow, as well as talk about the NBA, college basketball, NHL, and do my picks for the Oscars. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.